Eversion is one of those games that uses the disguised as being a little innocent game that then turns completely traumatizing. I know, a completely original idea that no other game has done before. So, what makes Eversion so special? It came out in December of 2008, and as far as I'm concerned, it was one of, if not the first of its kind to use this now common trope in gaming. The only other game I found that came even close to 2008 was Can Your Pet, released only in 2010. Even Dan Salvato, the creator of Doki Doki Literature Club, cites Eversion as being one of its main inspirations for the type of horror it uses, and we all know how fun and entertaining Doki Doki Literature Club is. Eversion was also quite popular on YouTube, with popular creators playing it such as Deceased Crab, Cryotic, Yami Mash, and a small channel named, I don't know, fucking PewDiePie, who at the time of the video's release was the largest channel on YouTube by all metrics considered. However, over time, the game would slowly fall into obscurity, being completely forgotten in the present day. Eversion was released in 2008 as a freeware game for TIG Source's Commonplace Book Competition, where they used a book of unconnected story ideas from well-known author H.P. Lovecraft for reference and ideas. Eversion was particularly inspired by an entry that read, "Sounds, possibly musical, heard in the night from other worlds or realms of being." Eversion ended up coming third in the competition, and was famously disliked by one of the judges who stated, quote, "There are just too many pixel games, especially platformers, coming out of the TIG Source crowd these days. It's kind of lost its charm. And most of these ideas are straight up derivations of the Mario Bros. Series." Regardless, Eversion became a decent success and ended up getting a Steam re-release in 2010, giving it updated graphics and another ending for the game. Personally, Eversion holds a special place in my heart and is well worth the $3 it costs to play it. The story of Eversion is essentially non-existent and can be summarized in one sentence. You're a flower boy named ZT who has to save the princess. The game is structured like your typical platformer with some basic enemies and even more basic collectibles. However, the main quirk of this game comes from the ability to evert in certain areas to help you progress through the game. For example, making the clouds solid. However, the further you go down the metaphorical eversion spiral, the more unsettling and nightmarish the game becomes. The entire game is broken up into 8 worlds with equally accompanying names, with World 1 being called Eversion, World 2 being Deception, World 3 being Erosion, World 4 being Desolation, World 5 being Apprehension, World 6 being Confusion, World 7 being Commotion, and World 8 being Induction. World 1 is nothing special, just some basic platforming to get to the end of the level, with World 2 being essentially the same, but this time it's more challenging. However, World 3 is where the ass-clenching begins. Besides that, the true terror is about 30 seconds after that part, when a literal wall of darkness attempts to consume you alive. After that, World 4 starts you off thinking you're back to normality, but nope, right back into the nightmare fuel. When jumping between platforms, you might also want to watch out for the hands ripped straight from Super Paper Mario waiting to drag your cute little flower boy into the deepest, darkest pits of hell where he belongs. In World 5, the monsters become edgy, the flowers become thorns that can kill you, and there's blood. Like a lot of blood. Like seriously, this is too much blood amounts of blood. World 6 is another chase sequence with the Wall of Darkness, but this time it's red, and it's decided it can now shoot hands at you, something that we've never seen in a game before. World 7 is what most would find as the final world, and adds nothing new, and after completing it, we reach the end of the game. Hopefully our flower boy gets a happy end. Nope. If you want to get the real ending, you have to collect all the gems from the previous world and then enter World 8 from World 7, which is a confusing maze where you slowly go from Eversion level 8 all the way back down to 1. A fair warning to those who might play after watching this, don't die at the very end. With this, we get the quote-unquote true ending, a love story that even rivals Doki Doki. I'll give the golden chainsaw to the final ending of this game, which requires beating World 7 at Eversion level 4, which gets you this. Yeah, the game gets stuck like this forever and you have to force close the game.